Hey guys, what's up? Pimp Marthor here, and welcome back to Let's Play Super Smash Bros. Brawl. In the last episode, we cleared up boss battles on intense mode with Pit, so now we are moving on to Meta Knight, who actually functions fairly similarly to Pit, so there's not really too much to explain. If you haven't, if you've seen Pit, for the most part, it's pretty similar. There's a few things that are not quite the same, but for the most part, pretty close. He is lightweight, just like Pit, and a few of the other characters that we've had thus far. So he will get killed at lower percentages, which is something you have to watch out for. You know, just natural fact, he's lightweight, so that happens. A lot of his attacks are very quick, off the mark, but a lot of them are attacks like this, where he'll, attack multiple times. That swing with his up smash takes 3 hits. Something like this. Any of those. Other than that, he's actually better than Pit, which is kind of funny because I've already said that Pit didn't excel that well in aerial battles, which is kind of ironic, flying and whatnot. But Meta Knight does a lot better in the air than Pit does because of two things, really. Are the fact that his attacks are not multi-hit like that. And so right now. The fact that his attacks are not multi-hit like that, and the fact that he can chain them together a lot better than Pit can because of that, is what makes it easy to use, because with his up attack, which is just that, I can keep chaining that, so I can just do this, which makes it very easy. His neutral attack is quicker and stronger than Pit, so it's probably the best aerial attack that Meta Knight has. Really, the only thing Meta Knight has a disadvantage in from Pit is the fact that he has no counter, which is not a big deal, because like I said, with Pit, his counter can only be used whenever he's facing whatever's about to hit him. If he's facing the other direction, it's not going to work. Whereas with like Fox's and Marth's counters, it did work, regardless of what direction they were facing. I'd say the main thing that you need to not use is just holding down the 2 button like this to try to mash it, because it will not work. In fact, you get stuck like this for a second, and it can really mess you up. Avoid Meta Knight's B moves. His up B is, like I said, up B should really only be used for recovery. His side B, don't use it. It's not worth it, because it will likely push you too far in whatever direction you send it in, and that will cause you to mess up. His down B, just it looks cool and all, but it's not very good for boss battles, because it's designed to trick your opponent, but boss battles have, something that they're going to do that's set, unlike human players or even the AI whenever it's just a normal character, so it doesn't really work here at all.
Ready, go!
Another thing that you will have to watch out for with Meta Knight, and this one actually got me more than any of that did. Like, I could kind of tell from the start that Meta Knight was, like, I was not going to be using B moves. At least one of them hit. The thing you have to watch out for with Meta Knight is his dodging is weird. It's only on the ground, but it is weird, and you'll see what I mean whenever I give you an example of it in a second. I'm going to go and try to take out Dion before then. Why does he keep tripping? That's like the 3rd time in this battle he's done that. There we go. But his dodging's weird. Like, watch this. I'm going to try to dodge as fast as I can. It doesn't go as fast as some of the other characters, and that's it. It has that quick delay to it, and it throws me off a lot, because with some characters like Fox, the dodging feels like it's a lot faster. With Meta Knight, it doesn't really feel like it's going that fast with the rolls. With the aerial dodges, I don't seem to notice it at all. It only seems to be on the ground ones. With even with the down dodge, it doesn't seem to be. It's only with the side dodges for whatever reason. It just feels like they're a little bit slower. Maybe it's my imagination, but it honestly does. Luckily, PD Piranha is really easy to beat with Meta Knight. I can kind of see why Meta Knight would be ranked in a ridiculous tier list, which the tier lists are a complete joke, because it's not how good a character is, it's how good you are at using that character, so. But I can see why he's banned from tournament play, because he is a little bit ridiculous whenever it comes to fighting players that have a flinch. Bosses have no flinch, which is probably why Meta Knight... If you made a tier list for boss battles, Meta Knight would probably not be #1. In fact, he probably wouldn't be very high up at all. He'd probably be about halfway down, in in my opinion, everybody with like the counters and reflectors and, you know, with Lucaria's double team, I think those people would be up the highest if you made a Brawl tier list, to be honest. But Meta Knight's like, it's a character you think that would do pretty well in boss battles, but he doesn't do bad. He just doesn't do as well as you would expect him to do. It's like, well, he's technically #1 on the tier list. You'd expect him to do really well. A lot of people do really well with him in competitive gameplay, but he just doesn't. He's just not up to snuff compared to what you think he would be. He's not bad, but he's not really that good either. And that might be why I like Marth a little bit more than Meta Knight. Which, if you guys saw me play Subspace, Meta Knight I usually picked second. I'd pick, you know, Meta Knight second, Ike third, Marth first. That's honestly why. Ike's counter doesn't work as great as Marth's, and we'll see it when we get there, because his counters, it's just different than Marth, but we'll get to it when we get to it. 3, 6, you're 7, 8 will either be Master Hand or Meta Ridley. Let's go ahead and use it now.
Ready, go!
But regardless of that, it's still very easy to damage bosses. Let me out of here. Thank you. If for no other reason than in having good aerials, you can also chain those aerials because he's got multiple jumps. So, like with the up one right here, that's kind of broken. I can see why that would work well. You can just jump twice and swing here, and you can stay in the air for at least 3 hits, so that works pretty well. But just overall, it feels like he should be, if he's so good in the other gameplay, it feels like he should be better in boss battles, and he just doesn't feel like he's as good as some of the other characters. Like I said, I honestly think people with the counters or reflectors, even the PSI shields that Ness and Lucas have, I honestly think those are the best characters to use for boss battles. That was who I beat it with. Like, the first person I ever beat boss battles on Intense with was Marth, followed by Fox, and then by Wolf, and then by Lucas, and then by Lucario, which are all people with counter or PSI shield, something that can take somebody's attack and either reflect it back or regain health. Because the PSI shield doesn't reflect the attack, but it will give you health back in certain situations, which is why if you're going into the Duon and Porky fight with Ness and Lucas, and you've got, like moderate damage, like in the 50s, go ahead and don't even use the heart container, because if you wait for the pink one to do that laser attack that it can, you can get your health back to 0% very easily. No, not that. Oh, I had to use the up B right there, because I knew I was going to get hit otherwise. I'm really lucky that that hit him and did not hit, and his attack did not hit me. Alright, let's move on here. And yes, of course, in case you're like colorblind or whatever, we are using Sassy Meta Knight here. Because I was in a sassy mood. Oh, well, no, don't do that. That was stupid. Yeah, he's gonna go for that. Alright, moving on. 2, 3, 4. That's what I was expecting him to do at the start of the match, because that's generally what he does, is that attack or the giant thing that he can turn into, which is the one he actually did right there. I was expecting him to do the other one, because he was kind of at that height. So it's like, oh, he didn't do that. I guess that would be a good example of you using your down B, is whenever you need a recovery that's not kind of, like, Shuttle Loop's kind of a weird recovery, up B-wise. Whatever that move is, the one where he, kind of disappears and reappears, that one's a little bit quicker and it's a little bit more manageable. It's just that, once again, you don't want to have to deal with the recovery cooldown. No, that's not going to happen. There we go. Look at those beautiful wings. All yellow and gold and pink.
Wow.
So sassy.
Incredible.
But yeah, even though I said Meta Knight and Pit function the same, look. 904, 557. I mean, a little bit of a difference there. Like, well, I guess that's closer to 6 minutes, but still, like, 3-minute difference. Those aerials make a big difference, especially if you're somebody like me that uses the arrows a lot. In fact, I think he's one of the higher times that I have. 557. Not quite up to DK's, but other than that, still pretty close. Once again, Mars was from easy mode, so that's the second lowest time we've had. So, kind of interesting note there. Anyway, next time on Let's Play Super Smash Bros. Brawl, we're going to move on to Falco's boss battles. So I will see you guys then. Later.